Okay, I'd like to call to order this Thursday, August 19th, 2021 meeting of Springfield Historic Commission. Commissioners Walsh, Nardi, McFarland, and Kroll are present. Any other commissioners? Did I miss any? That's it. Okay. We're going to go right to the continued public hearings. Let me just go over the COVID protocol here. In order to enable municipal government to continue its important work during the COVID-19 pandemic while assuring both city employees and citizens can satisfy CDC social distancing guidelines, the city of Springfield is providing public notice that it will conduct a public hearing using remote technology. Copies of said petitions, texts, and maps may be requested by email or phone. Email should be directed to the Office of Planning and Economic Development at AALLEN@springfieldcityhall.com or by calling 413-787-6020. To view the public hearing, it's a Focus Springfield Community TV website. Public comment will be taken in two segments. The first public comment period will take place prior to the meeting discussion. The second public comment period will take place after the meeting and will remain open for 24 hours. To provide for public comment in writing, Springfield Historic Commission, 70 Tapley Street, Springfield, Mass. 01104, or email AALLEN@springfieldcityhall.com. To provide for public comment by voicemail, the number is 413-750-3223. Messages received will be played at the Historic Commission hearing or at the continued hearing date. All commenters should state their name, address, company, or organizational affiliation, in addition to the items their comments pertain to. Voice messages received 24 hours before the hearing will be put into the record during the public hearing, and comments after the meeting will be entered at a continued date for the hearing. So that whenever a petitioner, when it's your turn, if you could just unmute yourself, but please keep yourself muted until we've announced your petition. So the first one is 171 St. James Avenue.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Coralie Santiago.
Hi, Coralie. It's nice to see you tonight.
Likewise.
An application for certificate of appropriateness to fix the back porch and replace windows. And Coralie gave us a good rendering of the work that she wanted to look like after. And the windows are, let's see what it says, double hung, same frame dimensions, replicating original exterior grids and grid patterns, and a darker outside color, which is part of what we reviewed in the last meeting. Any commission? Is there anything else you'd like to add, Coralie?
I would only like to ask the commissioners if, I know one of the things that came up in the last meeting was about the color. So if there are any recommendations in terms of color, I would gladly take those into consideration.
Okay. Any commissioners would like to have any questions or?
Definitely want a dark color, something like a black or a dark bronze has been approved before the commission.
All right.
I think the suggested color was, hold on, let me find it. It said fossil, so. I mean,
yes, it is kind of a grayish color. That's my understanding. But if it needs to be a darker color, we can do that as well.
Yeah, I'm just looking it back up so I can remember what fossil. Yeah, fossil's a little on the light side. There's darker gray. There's like, let's see, what's it called here? Oh, bronze. There's a bronze color there. Any other commissioners want to comment on the color or any other part of the application? Okay, so you're okay with the bronze color?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness, 171 St. James Avenue, to fix the back porch as the plans indicate and replace the windows with the proposed windows of a bronze color.
So moved.
Second.
For a second. Okay. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, let me call the vote. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes. Okay, Corliss, your application has been approved.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, just have to talk to Alvin. Okay. Next is 128, 130 Mulberry Street, an application for certificate of hardship. Proposed change, utility meter needs to be installed on the exterior of the home. Eversource advised that it needs to be located along the northeastern side of the building. Utility meters be placed behind existing bushes, be minimally visible. Existing plants will not be disturbed. The justification is utility line that supplies the home with electric is located underground, connects to the northeast side of the house. It would be harmful to the existing landscape to install this utility meter in a different location. And Eversource described as the only feasible location. Is Sue Mastriani? Oh, there you are. Oh, no, let me see.
Hi, I'm Will Brock. I'm the project manager from Disaster Recovery and Compliance on the project. Sue told me this morning that she would be on the call. I'm not sure if she's planning on signing on in a couple minutes. I just tried to reach out to her and I didn't get an answer on the phone, so.
Okay, do we have permission, Alvin, for Mr. Brock to speak in her behalf?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
No, does the commission have any questions?
That's my next question. I mean, we have a proposed location. It's kind of to the right of a chimney.
Yeah, to the right of the chimney behind the bushes, I think is outlined in the picture that I
Right. Okay. In all that, it's probably right here, and I know we reviewed it, but what exactly is going to be there? Just the, let me see,
just the electrical utility meter, that's it.
okay, okay. Any commissioners have any questions? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the application for, let me back that up a second, because I do want to just talk about the hardship potential for this. The underground utilities are really hard to move, I think. So in order to try and make it, a less visible place could be in several ways, in my mind, can be a hardship. So, but I just wanted to say that, see if, any other commissioners have any issues relative to how it's filed under hardship. Well, hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of hardship at 128, 130 Mulberry Street to install the meter as the location described.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, let me call the vote. Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes, and Commissioner Kroll.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So her application has been approved. All right, next we have another application for a certificate of hardship. Oh, Alvin, I hope you're going to be jumping in if there's public commentary. I meant to ask you that.
Yes, we didn't have any commentary for the first couple of matters.
Okay, anything on Madison?
Nope, no comments.
Okay, 38, application for certificate of hardship. 38 Madison Avenue, replace existing 38 windows with vinyl double hung, vinyl max eclipse windows, exterior color bronze, interior white, grids to match existing window I think it says interior.
Yes.
And the justification for certificate of hardship is a small nonprofit cannot financially afford good replacement windows. Replacing windows will dramatically improve our heating and cooling costs and allow the proper lead abatement, creating a safe environment for the families we serve. Okay.
So Shannon Mumblow, Executive Director of Christina's House. And as you said, the address is 38 Madison Avenue in Springfield.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to update us on or just
Nope, just excitedly waiting for tonight.
Tell us again. Okay. Now, I know we had some questions about the window grid patterns.
Yep. The grid patterns will match. And I was asking the commissioners to consider allowing us the interior grids matching in the bronze color to match historic color. It will save us several $1,000s to do interior grids. So that was the one thing I asked you guys to please consider for us.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much how I remembered it. Okay, so there's no, were you able to get a price differential with an exterior grid?
It will be about $4,000 to $5,000 more. And again, these are people in the community that are helping us with this project.
Yep.
So we'll
Okay.
do whatever it takes to make it happen. I was just asking the
No,
commission.
we understand both sides of this. What we hope that you understand is that when we do this, we have to consider what the overall effect is, not just the specific house in many cases.
Yep.
I'm wondering how many windows, if, some of these windows may not have to have exterior grids anyway, if they're not visible from a public way.
Okay.
This is one of the things I can't really tell why you've given us pictures and we have a site.
Well, I was just trying to give you the full scope of everything and trying to, for the aesthetic look for the whole house is important to us too, because we want to preserve as much of the historic look and feel of the house as we can. So.
Okay. Now, when you're, like I said, you gave us a lot of information, a lot of pictures, illustrating what I haven't been able to, by looking at these pictures, is I can't tell which are which sides of the house are the most visible from a public.
So
way.
we have the side that's actually facing Madison, the front side, and then there's a side street off of Madison that's a dead end that is not necessarily visible on the front end of Madison, but it's visible if you pull down that dead end.
Okay.
And then another side of the house faces the Head Start building.
Yep.
So some of the windows could be visible as you're driving down Madison. So I just try to give a full scope of the entire house.
Well, let me ask my fellow commissioners if any of them have any ideas on what's acceptable to them as opposed to what I might suggest. Anybody?
Well, Vinny, I agree
Yes.
with you. The visible public way, is a factor. If the windows aren't visible, then we don't have to scrutinize them as much as we might have to. The other thing, interior and exterior grids, our purview is solely the exterior of a house. So the interior grids wouldn't actually make much of a difference to me personally, and I think most of the other commissioners, being outside of that purview. And what we would want to see is the exterior grids replicated as they are in historic photos and stuff, but only the ones from a public way that are visible from that public way.
And it really looks, I know the location of the
It looks
house.
like about 15 or 16 windows would be visible. That front facing view, if you look at that picture, that's pretty much what you're going to see when you turn down Madison.
Well, would you be open to exterior grids on the side of the house? I mean, there's not a lot of people going to be driving down Madison and going down the little cul-de-sac there to see the other
So
side.
true.
And in order to try and, we do try to compromise on hardship for legitimate reasons.
Thank you.
But you're also in a very historic position, the house in front of you as well as those around you. I'll just say this, I'd be open to a compromise on the windows that have exterior and the ones that don't. If any other commissioners have any thoughts on that.
I agree with what you're saying, Vincent.
Okay.
I think it's a good compromise.
Say that again, Walter?
I think it's a good compromise. I mean,
Okay. I mean, would it just be that facing side or the front and the facing side?
So if we could just do that front facing view, that would be great. The picture here that I'm referring to, I don't know if you guys can see it. is that one. So if you turn around the corner, there's, looks like to me about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows. And then the rest of that side goes into like an alcove, so you can't even really see it at all.
Can you hold up that picture again? I just want to get my
Sorry.
copy that looks like it so I can look closer at it. That's all. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. I mean, if I would entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of hardship to replace the windows with the bronze color with the exterior grids on the, I'm not sure how to describe what that's going to be. Is that the south facing?
Front
That's a
facing.
good question. Front facing.
It's the right, yeah, well, the biggest side of the house facing the biggest public way. How's that for clarity?
That's great.
Commissioner Walsh, I can show you a map of the structure.
Okay, I think I have one here, but there's not a more. It is the south facing, so, whoop, there you go, okay. Right, so it's just that side there.
So you have Madison Ave in the front, and then you have Stearns Terrace in the rear, and then you have like a cul-de-sac on the north side.
Right, I think what we're talking about are the south facing windows, which can be seen from Central Street. And are we talking the same thing here?
No, so I'm talking, so you can't even really see the windows because Madison, Head Start blocks most of the house because we're back. So Madison Ave, that front face is where you see just on Madison. And then that little cul-de-sac there is where you turn around the corner. So that's that view right there. So if we could just do the windows on that front that face Madison, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Well, now, so on that southern side, I don't know. I wish I knew the visibility of that. I drive by it regularly, and I can't really.
it's blocked quite a bit by that larger building.
So if you guys can see the little, it's very, it's a little bit darker right there. Yeah, Alvin, if you put your little marker, so that's us. And then Head Start is that massive building right there. So you can't even see, and there's a fence and there's a lot of foliage in between.
Okay. Well, okay. If that's the case, then, well, let me just ask for other commissioners' opinions first about the application, just straight hardship the way it is, or do you think some of these should have exterior grids?
Well, I definitely think some of them should have exterior grids. And I believe Commissioner Nardi usually has all the rules for the districts right in front of him because he's well organized. What does it say about financial reasons for hardship, Commissioner Nardi, in that local historic district?
I actually have it myself if Al doesn't have it yet. The law establishing Springfield Historic District allows for inappropriate applicants when property experience conditions, especially affecting the building or structure involved, but not affecting the historic district generally. Failure to prove an application will involve a substantial hardship, financial or otherwise. And whether such application may be approved without substantial detriment to the public welfare and without substantial derogation from the intent and purpose of the chapter. I actually, now that I read that, and I don't read it as often as I should probably, without substantial detriment to the public welfare and without substantial derogation from the intent and purpose of the chapter. I think I think that if the windows are so that's the public view from the public way. And then you're going to show us the backside, are you? Okay.
It's an old picture.
Yes.
That's an old photo.
That
Okay,
is
where
very
are we
old.
looking
It's
right?
an old
A
building,
lot better than that now.
an
Yeah,
old house.
So this is down the cul-de-sac, or if you
Right.
can call it that. It's a dead end.
well, the little map makes it looks like it's got a little circle in it.
Yeah, so this is Madison Ave before it turns the corner there.
Yep, and there's the other building there. Okay,
Well, this is the same, well, yeah, this is the other building over here.
right. Okay,
And all that foliage is still there where the fences
Yeah.
separate the two.
okay. Well,
Right there, that shows you most of it is covered.
yeah, well, it's not the coverage so much, but it's the detriment to the, I don't see that there's necessarily a detriment. Substantial detriment to the public welfare. No, yeah, I'm absolutely open to a compromise on what gets exterior grids. As long as the color, the bronze color is acceptable. But I do want other commissioners' opinions on that, or if somebody I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of hardship with the whatever condition that we want to put on there.
Well, I think I would move to approve the certificate for hardship with the condition that the exterior muttons be replaced on the Madison Avenue elevation. And I believe it's pretty close to the east side, east elevation.
Yeah, easterly, yeah.
Yeah, and with the color as you just suggested.
I'd
And-
second that.
Okay,
Okay, so the motion is on the floor to approve the application, accept the application of certificate of hardship with just putting exterior grids on the Madison Ave side and having the bronze color windows. Correct? And that was seconded. Okay, any discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none, call the vote. Commissioner Nardi,
yes,
Commissioner Walsh is yes, Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
McFarland.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that's been approved.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Thank you very much. Gotta write my note. All right, next is 76 Florida Street.
Solar.
Okay, this is an application for certificate of appropriateness. Installation of interconnected rooftop solar system to the rear of the home will not be visible from the public way. Black on black panels to be installed. Okay. Is there anything, is the petitioner on with us here? Who is it? Denise?
Steve Kelly is here. Yes, thank you.
Okay, Steve. Okay, is there anything you'd like to add to the discussion or anything that we don't know? Any changes or anything?
I'm not sure that we haven't changed the locations as provided in the original plans of the equipment on the side of the house, but we're well aware of the stipulation that the equipment be placed in the least viewable spot.
Okay. So, but I thought we did have you sent us a lot of plans here. I thought we had a rendering indicating where it was going to be.
It may have a battery included as part of the project, in which case we would have sent a rendering showing that in the basement.
Yeah.
And, again, we're going to locate as much equipment as we can away from any exterior view, maybe on the back of the house, but there will be a disconnect at the minimum near the meter.
Right. Okay. That's what we discussed, that there would be a disconnect there and that the others could likely be in the back of the house. The problem with the likely and could be's is we actually, before we vote, we need to have some confirmation of what it's going to be. And if it ends up not being able to be that way, were supposed to be, come back before us, but I think we talked about it. My recollection is that we were having it's just going to be a disconnect with where the meter is, and everything else is going to be in the back. I know we talked about color, if there was conduit colors, and
I hate to ask, Alvin, did you get a revised plan set from Greta on that? I know we're on top of it. I mean, we get that that's sort of the, I don't want to say button point, but that's what you guys would like. So that's what we're going to attempt to do, not attempt.
Yeah. The panel rendering is good. Now on that same one, I think, Alvin, did you just put it up, or was that you, Al, that put that up?
I put it up, but again, I haven't received anything from the last meeting.
Okay, so this has, some, I see here in the rendering, it has some, I just can't translate the symbols here. One of them, it looks like it's going to be right on the Florida Street side. And then the other one will be on the side of the house. Yeah, that's the picture.
I'm sorry there's not a rendering showing it differently. We're well aware of of that request / stipulation that the equipment not be visible, because it can be quite a bit of equipment.
Right.
So we're aware of that. I'm not sure which one of the commissioners brought that up on the last project that we had out there, but
well, probably any one of us might have. It's one of the things we're trying to keep, to keep the expectation reasonable, that it can be the least visible place as opposed to just automatically stick it in the front.
Sure.
So tell us what the best case scenario is for where this stuff would be relative to that picture, if you can see it.
Unfortunately, I don't have any video. What I will say is that it will be placed either on the back of the home or it'll be in the basement.
Okay.
And again, it will be that disconnect next to the meter to absolutely minimize what we put there.
Perfect.
There won't be the inverter. There won't be all the other major equipment that it requires.
So the meter's not moving. That's staying where you're just adding a solar disconnect in the same location.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Any commissioners have any questions?
I have one. Just
go ahead, Commissioner Nardi.
Compared to so many other installations that I've seen, there's so very few panels. So are these panels something special where these few panels can generate the electricity for the entire house?
It may not be generating it for the entire house. I tell people I do wood, not wire, so that's really not my area. The panels have gone from 250 watts to maybe 365 watts. So the amount that each panel produces is increased quite a bit.
Yeah.
We sometimes will put a system on that might only do 40% of the offset.
Nice.
So it's not necessarily so that we put 40 panels on every one of our homes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other commissioners, any public commentary on this, Alvin?
No, we have no commentary on this particular matter.
I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 76 Florida Street, Springfield, Mass. To install the interconnected rooftop solar system to the rear of the home, will not be visible from the public way, black on black panels to be installed.
So moved. All right, second.
Thank you for the motion and the second. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, I'll call the vote to Commissioner.
If I can,
go ahead, Steve.
If I could put one more comment in there. We're a pretty large solar company. We're not planning on going anywhere. So, this is how we want to deal with you guys. We don't want to, throw something up that's not going to be acceptable. So we plan on being around for a while.
And we appreciate that you know what the guidelines are in a historic district and it's clearly willing to work with them for us. That makes it easier for us as well, and we appreciate that. Let me just call the vote on this. Commissioner Walsh votes yes. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Next is 245 St. James Avenue. Application for certificate of appropriateness. At 245 St. James Avenue, installation of wiring and roof-mounted grid tier solar PV system consisting of 23 sun-powered modules and inverters located on the roof and tied to an existing 100 amp service. So maybe this is the one. Okay. Oh yeah, here's one where we did kind of have a rendering as to what they were going to try to do. So who's on to talk on this
So
one?
this is
Jeffrey?
Jeff Scavron, 245 St. James Avenue, and also Jake Schneider from Earthlight Technologies is with us too.
Okay.
We've been talking about the wiring coming down the back of the house with Jake can come in on this, where the meter moving to the back of the house where it won't be visible at all from any public way.
Okay, jump in
Yeah.
there, Jake, if you'd like to update us.
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
We can.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna make one change. Last time we were talking about bringing the conduit over, I think it was on the north side of the house. We're gonna move everything to the back of the house, which would be on the east side, so you wouldn't be able to see it from the street.
Okay.
And we will color coordinate everything, the conduit, especially, and we're also going to see, once we get on site, if we can somehow get the conduit down through the house. Jeffrey mentioned that there are a couple
Pathways.
pathways to get through from the attic down to the basement. So that would be our first option. Second option would be going on the back of the house.
Okay. Well, we're looking for minimum visibility, so I appreciate you taking as much time as you have to just see how to do it. And
Yeah, absolutely.
any commissioners have any questions? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 245 St. James Avenue regarding the installation of the solar with the, I'm going to say I'm not quite sure what words to use, to put the panel, the equipment on the east side in the rear of the property and color the conduit, yes. And did I say that right, Jake?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put all the equipment on the outside, on the east side. If the conduit goes outside, it will be color coordinated to the house. Otherwise, we're going to try and put it on the inside.
Okay, thank you. So I would entertain that motion.
So moved.
Okay, second. Thank you very much. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me call the vote. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes. So that's approved.
Great. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you for the considerations. Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Okay. Well, we're moving along fairly, for those of you remaining patient, we're moving along fairly well. Okay, next is 218 Long Hill. This is an application for a certificate of hardship. Relative to the enclosing the windows on the back porch. Is the petitioner with us?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are, Vanette. Were there changes that you were going to described to us today? What things you'd like to do? Nope, we can't hear you.
No, I just thought I'll just put the windows back in if that's okay.
You're just gonna put the original windows back in?
I put the windows back in if that's okay.
Yeah, well, you can, if you still have the original windows, you can.
Yes.
Any commissioners have any comments or questions for the petitioner?
I guess just my question is, would that include the removal of the exterior enclosure? The boards that.
Oh, the plywood, the wood, yeah. Yeah, you're talking about putting the windows in and removing the plywood.
Correct.
Yeah, of course. Well, then it falls under, if those original windows are going back in, it might fall under non-applicability right now. Might that be so, Alvin?
Excuse me?
Or appropriateness at this point.
Yeah, because we got to do something. Okay. Vinette, did you want to add something else?
No, just
Okay.
want to I'll just put the windows back in.
Okay. All right. So we would change in any public commentary other than what's already been entered in the record?
Just Ralph's
No.
letter.
I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
do you want me to read Ralph's letter from last time? I know we had the.
did you read it in last? No.
I did, but we had a snafu with the recording, so.
Well, given the change to an application for appropriateness, I don't, I mean, you have it for the record.
Yeah, so again, I'll just state for the record, we received a letter from Mr. Ralph Slate in the butter of the property on Long Hill Street. And he was against the enclosure of the windows, and he offered an opinion that, the windows could be restored or the enclosure be placed on the interior, which is not under the commission's purview.
Okay, all right. So with the permission of the applicant, I would change this, since you're just replacing the original windows, I would change this application to an application for certificate of appropriateness to restore original windows. I'm just going to put it on here. So that's your intent.
Correct.
So I would then entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness to restore the original windows at 218 Long Hill Street.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me call the vote. Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes, Commissioner Kroll.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for restoring those windows, Vinette.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
before we get to the new public hearing items, we did have a request to move 13.
Yeah, the entire environmental review. Yeah, I have no issue with that. Any commissioners have an issue with moving that on the agenda? Except, hold on. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna take 13 Harvard Street next before we begin the new public hearings. This is just an application for review of projects located within a National Registered District. Exterior, this 13 Harvard Street. Exterior work primarily consists of painting over loose paint to make it intact. Some areas contracted may cover with aluminum material. Window sills, one basement window will be replaced with hot. Okay, who's Maria? Is Maria with us?
The Galaxy, and we have an interpreter here for the city.
Okay.
Is Maria muted?
María, ¿no me oye?
Sí,
Gracias, María.
te oigo un poquito, se oye un poquito distorsionado, pero se oye.
She said it's very little bit weird, but it's she can hear.
So Maria is an applicant for the city of Springfield. Do you need to ask her if I can speak on her behalf? Do you want her to tell us that's okay?
Yes, it's okay that they speak on your behalf.
Él pregunta que si estás de acuerdo de que nosotros hablemos por ti.
Sí.
Say, thank you.
So
Go ahead.
Maria's the owner of 13 Harvard, and she's applied for our lead hazard grant. So we want to de-lead the house.
Yep.
The issue before you is the exterior. It's peeling pretty badly. I believe you have pictures, but I can certainly share them if you don't.
Well, I have pictures. Go ahead. Yep.
She's so we want to, we're certainly going to restore all that lead paint, get a letter of that de-leaded compliance. Everything else, there's some work inside, but I don't think that anything that would be visible from the outside. We're going to go right around the house, remove all the loose paint and repaint. Maria also, though, lives in a national district. The two houses to her right are both sided. Couple houses, a house diagonal across the street is sided.
Yeah.
She, as would the city, would prefer to side the house because that's going to permanently eliminate the lead hazard, as is the goal of the grant. HUD would much prefer a permanent solution to the lead paint hazards than something that may only last 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
If you look at the picture, she's got some the straightforward long wood siding with some shakes. That can be replicated with the really nice vinyl products out there. If you allow me to share a screen, I can show you some pictures.
Actually, don't grab the screen yet.
Yep.
I'm just reading the application. I mean, the
Yeah, sure.
application for review. Exterior work primarily consists of painting over loose paint and make it intact. In some areas, contractor may cover with aluminum material. Okay, because we really aren't supposed to discuss what's not on the application.
Okay.
So that would actually be a different application at the time, and I apologize for the technicality, but it's kind of what helps us to keep going. This is only talking about painting and a little bit of aluminum coverage. But if you, so in the, just give me an, you know what, I do want you to give me an overall picture, but not details on siding because it's not on here. But your goal for the overall exterior of this house relative to this seems to be just, you know, like taking care of the paint.
Right. You can't have any loose paint in order to get a lead certificate.
Right, in order to make it compliant. Right. Okay. In the window sills, they want to cap them with some of them with aluminum.
Yes.
Okay. Alvin, give us, let me know what we can do and what we can't relative to the property.
So I got notes from Shannon Wolf from Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, and she states that because there's federal monies coming for this property, which is a national district, they have to adhere to the Secretary of the Interior standards for rehabilitation standards, which basically they would not be able to use federal funds for vinyl on this type of property.
All right, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay, so if you're getting the funding, we can review the project if it's and only relative to, we can't okay something anyway that's not approved under the federal guidelines for the money.
Could we just take a moment and let Mariceli catch Maria up?
Yes, please, go ahead. Sorry about that. Thank you for stopping.
María, ellos lo que están tratando es de poder ponerte los siding que se han de vinil, pero como hay una regla que es federal, no pueden ponerte la de vinil. Lo que están tratando de poderte aprobar para que entonces lo pongan bien, pero sin dañar lo que es el vinil, como yo te lo había explicado antes.
Okay.
And just while I have Alvin to pick his brain, so we're fine with we're fine with, we'll paint, we'll restore, we'll restore, replace any rotted wood, paint the house, bring it into compliance. But while I got Alvin,
Sure.
just so we can explain to Maria, because she did express a desire that she wants to sign. Down the road, Alvin, when maybe the next time it comes to paint the house, private funds, she would have the option to sign, correct?
Yeah, so she uses her own funds. She can kind of move that, do as she so chooses. But with federal funds, she can't side, with alternative material. I'm not sure that she could cap either with aluminum. I think I'll check on that.
No, I'm fairly certain you can't, Alvin. So thank you for bringing that one up too.
Yeah, and she would still have to come to the commission anyways.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's subject to historical commission approval.
Thank you, Attorney Shuchuk. Okay. So this is just that we would approve this work subject to the money they're getting under the federal guidelines.
Correct. We're gonna paint the house.
All right, going to paint the house. Okay, is there anything else, any commissioners' questions or anything else a petitioner would like to add? And then if you want to take if you need time to keep Maria updated, just stop us and make sure she knows where we are.
Just a question for Alvin. Is there color review required in this district?
No.
Not sure I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Shannon.
I don't believe so, but anyway, so this is, so the question is, and we can vote on this tonight, right, Alvin?
I think it would require a public hearing.
It does, huh? Right. Public hearing to paint the house. Okay. Well, okay, then I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for review of the project at 13 Harvard Street to the, September 2nd meeting?
That's correct.
Okay.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay. Let me just go through the vote. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh, yes. So we've continued that to the next meeting to allow for public commentary.
Okay, thank you, commissioners. We'll update Maria on the phone and let you get back to your meeting.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
See you in
thank
a
you.
couple weeks.
Maria, yo te llamo ahora, okay? Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right, now let's go to our new public hearings, which all will be continued to allow for public commentary. Let me start with 28 Belmont Avenue. This is an application for certificate of appropriateness to modify, renovate rear porches. Okay, who's here for 228 Belmont Avenue?
The owner, David Burgess, is.
Oh, David, okay. It just says realty company there, so it doesn't have.
And I'm Zach Hickman, the contractor.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us what the project is.
So we plan to, sorry, 1 second, I'm just pulling up the print here.
No, it's okay.
We plan to completely remove the rear porches on the property.
Yep.
And reconstruct to the blueprint provided to you guys.
Okay. Is this just a replacement, same material, same design, same everything?
The design is a little different. Right now, the way the porches are constructed, they have the stairs protruded out into the rear driveway, which makes it so where a car can't fit in the driveway. but there is nothing about the existing porches that are, from an error where, everything now, the way it is existing is all conventionally framed, regular PT decking. There's no, corbels, decorative posts, or, cedar shake or anything of that nature. It's just real cut and dry conventional framing.
Okay, is there a picture of the change? I mean, this is, we're okay. I'm just looking at, because you have one existing section and then, let me see. Proposed.
This is David speaking. The new configuration is absolutely identical to 186 Belmont, which is a sister building right down the road.
No, I have no issue with this whatsoever. Any commissioners have any questions for David or Zachary? No, hearing none, then I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness to the September 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me just call the vote. Commissioner Walsh is yes to continue. Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll is yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, got to go to the meeting at the second to allow for public commentary.
Thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. All right, next is, now we have it withdrawn. Is that correct still?
Yes, I can confirm that 360 Maple Street for several exterior renovations has been withdrawn by the petitioner.
Okay. All right, so next is 117 Westminster. An application for certificate of hardship. Kamal Watt, proposed change is replace the front picture window with similar material. Justification for the hardship: the existing window is faulty, cannot be sealed properly, and we cannot find an exact replica of the window. Okay. And this is Kamal. Is Kamal on with us? Hassan?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Oh, there's two of it. Okay. You want to just describe what you'll be doing?
You're muted.
You're both muted right now. I would ask that somebody just kind of describe the project.
All right, so we're trying to replace the front picture window in the house. There's it's an old window as the house is old, and there's drafts coming through the window. So I know we're losing a lot of energy that way, especially since the window is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Kamal.
And so we're trying to replace it. We've already bought the window and we tried to match it up as close as we can, but it's not like a 100% match.
So by the looks of this, are you leaving that decorative piece on the top?
I'm not sure if we can, but we will try if we can.
I'm not sure exactly how to describe what that is.
The drawings say to repair and or replace. The little decorative platform.
Well, just yeah, like the looks like it would have been like almost like leaded up the top there.
Oh, the hayloft door. Am I looking at the wrong?
Well, this is 117 Westminster.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
was going to say, where are you? Come back to us.
All right, thanks.
Replace the front picture window with similar material. Kamal, you understand what I'm asking, right? About the decorative part on the top. Are you maintaining that?
We can try. We just don't know if we can try to take it off, but we don't know how easy it is to remove.
Yeah. And are there any? I can't really tell. That's just a straight pane of glass underneath it, right?
Right. It's not a double pane, so there's it's not as insulated as like modern windows.
Yeah, it's not divided. It's not separate lights. There's no, because you do have some unique lights in your windows, and the one you've pictured, the picture of the one you have here is actually not, I don't think, too bad. I would hate to lose the detail of that top piece. But I'm not, and I don't know how difficult it would be to even protect that and make that more energy efficient while you replace the window beneath it. Were you able to find a window that's the same size as the one you're taking out, or are you going to have to change the framing?
That is the same size.
That's the same size.
Yeah, it had to be custom ordered.
Okay.
And that was, yeah.
Any questions from commissioners? Go ahead, Commissioner Nardi.
Just commentary that now that I got the right photograph that I'm looking at, that leaded decorative piece that you see on the top, if you get really close up with it, looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's the frame that's got a little need for a little work. And to make it energy efficient, as we did in several other places, you can install a storm panel on the inside of it.
Right.
And that because the leading looks like it's in really good shape.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a detail. I think I'd be okay with the window, the replacement window, if we were maintaining the top piece.
Yeah, I agree.
So this window you already bought, would that be removing that top decorative piece or just going in underneath it?
I guess we would somehow make it work. As long as we can remove the lead piece without damaging it, we should be able to reapply it pretty easily, I guess.
So can I chime in? This is
please do, Hassan.
Yes, this is Kamal. So it's a one piece. It looks like there's a separation of window, but that's one full window with the top decorative lead piece coming across the top. So it's not about removing it and putting it back on, because that's part of the original window.
Okay.
There's no frame underneath that leaded piece. I see a white frame.
It's just it's one piece. It's just a separation of a wood sash.
Yeah.
But the glass goes fully through.
Oh, I see. I understand.
So it's just like applied to the front of the glass?
Yeah. It's just applied to the front of the glass.
Will you be able to reapply it to the front of the new glass?
It's going to break apart. It's not going to be adhere to the new window.
Okay. Well, it's a nice detail. I don't I don't know. I suppose at some point you could try to because if it's not attached to the glass that's there now, there may be a way to save it or in a future restore it and put it back up just to give the detail back to the house.
We were going to try and see if we could diligently remove it over a period of time.
Yeah.
And then reinstall it back on the new replacement.
Yep.
But I cannot guarantee how easy, how long it's going to take to, break the glass apart, get the glass from behind it so it doesn't protrude off the new window.
Yeah, okay. I know that's going to be a difficult thing. Well, I mean, since we have to continue to the next meeting on the 2nd, it'll give you a little time to look at it. I mean, the replacement window you're picturing here it's wood. It appears to be a wood window.
Yes.
And it has some lights that are not the same as what you have. Of course, you have other windows upstairs there. Anyway, I would like you to consider that. Just take a look at it, see, because even if you aren't able to restore it now, if you were able to remove that, restore it at some future date, just for the historic detail of the house, that would be appreciated. But in the meantime, I would entertain a motion to continue this application to the September 2nd meeting, this application for certificate of hardship at 117 Westminster.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the motion?
It might help the homeowner to bring a few very close-up photos of the fact that letting is attached to the glass.
Yeah, just anything you
That's one
can help us
piece.
with. Yeah, I
Anything
agree.
to make it easy to understand.
Okay. All right, that's it. Okay, Commissioner Walsh votes yes. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
and Commissioner Nardi.
Yes.
Okay, so that's continued to the September 2nd meeting.
Thank you.
So take a peek at that for us, see what you think you might be able to do with it. Just let us know. So it could be some consideration.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is 251, 257 Central Street. Application for a certificate of appropriateness, a single-family residential structure. Okay.
And Commissioner Walsh, we do have a letter that addresses these next two items.
Okay, go ahead.
You want me to read it into the record now or wait till after the petition?
Well, let's get the presentation first. It really doesn't matter which way. Who's here to speak on this? The new houses?
We're both here. Our designers here, and also Jose Claudio, president of Northern Housing Initiative.
Okay.
So we're both here, and
well, go ahead. Jose. Just tell us tell us the plan. I'm looking through the plans as you speak. Go ahead.
Connie, can you speak on that?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I represent Platkins, and both me and Jose also work with the city of Springfield to grant us the fund. Jose purchased the properties within the historical district. We were guided by the city of Springfield, Alvin and Tina, as how the commission would want us to do it. So therefore, we create the design, and we try our best to make all material historic view. So
thank you.
We understand that there should not be front-facing garages. We should try to make everything and the building design and everything affordable but historic. So we gave our presentation to Alvin, which I think you have in front of you right now, looking at.
We do. Okay.
And just for the record also, Commissioner, we did 4 houses at Central 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we did 4 houses there.
Right. Is this a different design from those?
Yeah, a little bit, because one, especially, we know it's a historic, so we want to make sure that it complies with what the Historic Commission wants.
Okay. Well, it'd be good to have a couple new houses built up there. Is there anything, Jose, is there anything, or Courtney, anything that would be like quite marginal or questionable to the Historic Commission in the new designs?
I'm hoping not.
Okay, fair answer. Just asking if there's anything you we might want to know more about. That's all.
No, we hoping not that we follow it to a specific to the need.
Yeah, I mean, there's relative to like the things like the foundation lines and the foundation heights and the trim, the width and the design of trim boards and things like that. Those have all been taken into consideration.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us? With Commissioner Nardi? Go ahead.
Jose, this in the application, there's some photographs. It looks like probably the existing house or the other places that you built.
Yes, there's some that we're doing also in the north end that is comparable. I feel that, you need to make it fit into a neighborhood. I understand that I come from that, from that background, and I want to make sure that we complement the neighborhood.
Okay, so on those photographs, I see like the siding and then corner boards on the sides, so they can fit the siding into it. Is that what you're planning on the new one?
Currently, no, right? Yes, no.
I am not seeing the picture that he's looking at, but we're using the vinyl siding, but it look historic. We're trying to use the same corner board. We want to be, so I'm not sure if it is okay with you.
Yeah, okay.
Based on what I was guided by.
Okay, I think I see the corner board on the drawing now. Just that the drawing was small and I couldn't see it. I see it.
Okay.
So that photograph is the look that they're trying to create. I understand it now. Okay, thank you. Any other questions from commissioners? No, well, we'll have to review. There's a lot of paperwork in this one to take a peek at. Is there any public commentary you'd like to add, Alvin?
Yes, I have a letter from the Springfield Preservation Trust. It states, Dear Springfield Historical Commission, the Springfield Preservation Trust Board of Directors has voted to write this letter in regards to construction of 2 new single-family homes. The trust is pleased by Victorian design for the houses on 251, 257 Central Street and 271 Pine Street. The houses, however, are missing key elements to fit the historic neighborhood. The trust recommends that foundation height be the same as houses on either side. Window trim and corner boards be the width as on nearby period houses. Upper and lower porch railings be the same size as nearby period houses. And again, typically in historic district, this is just me adding comment. Typically in a historic district, the upper railing does not reach anywhere higher than the bottom of the window sill. Just adding that comment. So to go on with the letter, it states spindles be attached beneath upper railing and on top of lower railing rather than onto the sides. Porch columns be lathered or chamfered. Window and the gable be larger. The trust believes with these additions, the house will fit within the historic neighborhood and increase the value to the houses. Thank you for your consideration. Derek Strahan, President.
Okay. Anything else? Is that it for that one?
That's it.
Okay. Is there anything else anybody'd like to add or any questions anybody'd like to ask? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate of appropriateness at 251, 257 Central Street to the September 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that's motion seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes. Okay, that's continued to the September 2nd meeting.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Yep.
All right, next is 271 Pine Street. This is a application for certificate of appropriateness, single-family residential structure. It's the same.
That's the same developers that.
Yeah, you had 2 of them on the first application. I could have done all 3 of those at once. So this is the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some variations in the house, but for the most part, it's,
Right. But let me just entertain a motion to continue this 271 Pine to the September 2nd meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? Yep. Any discussion? Okay. Commissioner Walsh votes yes. Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
And Commissioner Kroll to send that to continue that. I'm not sure why we didn't put all three of them on. Is it that much difference in that one? I mean, the pictures all look the same.
So there was a difference in the orientation of the garage.
Ah, okay.
So the garage on the Central Street property was, it's in the back, but they try to hide it. It still may be visible somewhat from the public way, but because most houses in this district don't have, car garages attached, they try to put it in the rear.
Right.
Now, for 271 Pine Street, the structure is actually on a corner. So there really was no way for them to hide the garage being on the corner lot, but they did put it in the rear. So there are some variations just with how the garage is oriented.
Okay. All right. Well, commissioners, we have a little bit of homework to do on those three particular files. We might want to review them a little closer before the September 2nd meeting. All right, let's see, what do we have next? All right, we have, oops, I think I've got.
Northern Heights.
I have that's on the matters proper before, but I'm not seeing the file, that's all.
And there is no file.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fill me in, Alvin. Thank you.
So we do have a petitioner on the line.
It's okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Augenstein. I am with the Public Archaeology Laboratory. I am the historic consultant working on the Northern Heights Rehabilitation Project on behalf of Wynn Development. Adam Stein is here also representing Wynn. I'll turn it over to Adam to give a brief project introduction.
Sure. Thanks, Alyssa. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. So as Alyssa described, the Wynn Companies owns this property. It's 148 units of existing housing located downtown Springfield. And it's basically comprised into two type of building types. There's a mid-rise on Main Street, and then there's a bunch of 3-story townhomes and some additional structures along Central and Adams Street. So 148 units, there's studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and 4 bedrooms. And all the units are set aside at rents restricted to residents earning 60% or low AMI. So they're all affordable housing throughout the property. The buildings were constructed in 1900, 1908, 1975 over 3 phases of time. And Wynn purchased the buildings in 2006 and did a rehab of the buildings and has been owned and managed those since. It's been a 15-year period of time since the rehab, and it's ready to do it again. So we've got to go back in and do kitchens, bathrooms, mechanical systems, a lot of exterior masonry work, some site work, some handicap upgrades. And we're looking to do, I don't know, a $9 to $10 million rehab of the property. And the total cost is around $24 million. We're working with Alyssa on the MHC and the MPS process. We received our part 1 and 2s previously, and we're looking to make our part 2 submission to MHC. And we're here tonight to talk through the scope and the project and to request a support letter for our application to MHC. I don't know, Alyssa, if you want to talk through maybe scope specific items and what buildings and structures are eligible and not, because it's not all straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Alvin, is it okay if I share my screen?
It certainly
I created a brief PowerPoint. Okay, great.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, can everyone see?
Yeah, I can now.
Photos.
Yep,
Great.
I got you.
Okay, so just to give you bearings, we're talking about specifically this grouping of 32 row houses on Central Street between Ashburn and Main. As Adam mentioned, they were all built in the 1870s. They were rehabilitated by a previous developer in the 1970s when came in and completed a more historic rehab back in 2007. They were awarded state historic tax credits in 2007. However, at that time, the program was still really young and we didn't have the same formal process that we do today. So we drafted the part ones for the state, which, as Adam mentioned, have been approved by the SHPO and by the Park Service. And so now we're going into the state with our part two applications. The scope is fairly basic. Exterior masonry on every building will be cleaned, selectively repointed. All of the existing windows will be replaced to match the existing historic sash. So all will be 2/2s at the facades, 1/1s at the rears. And the main entrances will also be replaced, replicating the existing configurations, which are they're aluminum doors with half lights and raised panels on the lower halves. Interior scope. All of the existing historic stairs will be retained and repaired as needed. These items are the most significant interior features of each property. And also all existing hardwood flooring will be retained and refinished. Kitchens and bathrooms will be updated. I have all new appliances, new luxury vinyl tile flooring, new cabinetry, and new lighting fixtures. And that's about it. I've also included the plans that I submitted to you all last week, just so you could sort of see everything zoomed in and to sort of go through anything if you have any questions. We also have Becky Krupkowski on the call from the architectural team. So that's about everything.
Okay, so the exterior is just going to be restored exactly the way it is now.
Correct.
There'll be no visual change, no material change, no anything. Okay.
Well, windows, right, Alyssa? But
Windows, yeah.
But the same design, is that right or not?
Exactly. Yep, the
Yeah.
same design. And actually, I forgot to mention at the mansards right now we have asphalt shingles.
Yeah.
Those are going to be removed and replaced with a composite slate, so it more historically replicates the original condition.
Interesting. Okay. But the windows, not to belabor it, it's a great project, not to belabor, but the windows are going to be the same color.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same design, whatever, just replacing them all. Okay.
Exactly.
Any commissioners have any questions?
Well, I'll just make a comment that I've been looking at the drawings and Becky did a great job.
Thank you.
They really read well.
Okay, so this is the request for a letter of support. And Alvin, we can vote on this tonight?
Yes, you can.
Thank you, just double checking. So I'd entertain a motion to issue a letter of support for the project at Northern Heights, 1172 through 79 Central Street.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there a discussion on the motion? Okay, let me take the vote. Commissioner Walsh is yes. Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll is yes.
Yes.
We'll issue that letter. That's a great project, and thanks for doing it.
And thanks so much for your support.
Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we have okay, now we have 135 Thompson Street, non-applicability, Mcknight Historic Homes Restoration Program.
So the property owner is not currently on the Zoom call. However, because they are receiving CPA funds through our Mcknight grant program, we just have to, have the transparency. That's why it's on the agenda. The application would be under non-applicability, just for the repair of clapboards and painting of the exterior. Again, the commission does not control paint, and she's just making simple repairs to the clapboard. So there's no change in design of material.
Okay, well, that's an easy one. So we don't need a public hearing. I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of non-applicability at 135 Thompson Street. Exterior house painted, minor repairs of exterior using exact same materials, shapes, and sizes.
So moved.
Is there a second? Somebody give me a second. Okay, thank you, Al. And Brian. Any discussion on the motion? Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes. Okay. There you can issue that certificate of non-applicability. And what else is on here? Okay, 121 Dartmouth Terrace, non-compliance, replacement of garage doors, replacement windows and utility meter.
So this one is on just for an update. You guys asked for an update at the last meeting.
Yes.
As far as I know, they were fined. You guys requested a fine about a month or so ago, just due to the fact that they had not responded to several stop work orders. They were fined, I was told by the building department, they were fined on July 21st, I believe. I don't have the date right in front of me, but it was somewhere thereabouts in July. Basically what I was told by the building department is that they're giving them 3 months to remedy the issues. And so every month, for those 3 months, they'll continue to fine until on the, past the third fine, then they'll take the matter to court. But right now, we're just at the first fine. The property owner acknowledged that he was fined, came in with his fine to the building department and requested an appeal.
Of course he did.
Yeah. But I guess the conversation back and forth between he and the building commissioner did not go too well. So he's not too happy right now. But I'm not sure what that means for him. Coming, because I did speak with him prior to him being fined, and I told him, I gave him applications. I gave him quite a few applications and told him to apply for the matters that are that he needs to respond to. And again, I did notify him that he could potentially be fined, and he never returned with the applications. And so we're still kind of at a stalemate with the issues at hand. So that's the update.
So there's nothing to do. You guys got it under control.
Yep, so he should, again, if he doesn't respond by next week, I think next week he'll get another fine.
Is there anything else on our agenda? And I'd entertain my favorite motion to adjourn. All in favor?
So moved.
Yeah, it's just all in favor.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
See ya.